So you've completed your first quest, and you've got your reward of gold. So what are you going to go buy?
So many magic items.
Magic items is usually one of the first things on everybody's list once they have a little bit of gold flowing in. In this video, we will discuss 10 magic items well suited for the cleric. Let's get started. Welcome to the Blue Dragon Guild, where we discuss everything Dungeons and Dragons. I'm Baron.
And I'm Mackenzie.
In this video, we are going to be discussing magic items for the cleric. We've both picked 5. We looked at each other's list, but we didn't discuss it in any way, so let's just get started.
The first magic item I have selected for the cleric is Animated Shield. It's a very rare item. It requires attunement, and as you know, you can attune to 3 different things, barring different circumstances. While you hold the shield, you speak a command word as a bonus action, and the shield floats off of you and pops up in front of you up to 1 minute, which, as you know, in battle, takes a lot longer than actually 1 minute in real life.
10 rounds. Yeah.
Or you can end this effect, or when you become incapacitated, and basically it makes your hands free. But you have a shield out in front of you.
Yep.
To then have 2 items equipped, have one to be ready as a cleric to fight off while you have a spell that you can heal with. Or if you want to do double shield, I guess it's something you can do. It'd just be kind of awkward.
Yeah. Even though the bonuses wouldn't stack with a double shield, but
all static.
For aesthetic's sake, it might be fun. Like you said, with the shield floating in front of you, it gives you that free hand so you can cast while still getting the buff from the shield. The first item I've picked is not something that your stereotypical healing kind of cleric would take. I've picked the Staff of Swarming Insects. The reason that I picked this is just because it gives you access to 2 spells, Giant Insect and Insect Plague. Those are things that at least in my mind, that most clerics aren't going to take.
Right. What do they do, Baron?
I will look now. Insect Plague. It's a 5th level conjuration spell. Swarming biting locusts fill a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point you choose within range.
Nice.
The sphere spreads around corners. It remains for the duration, and its area is lightly obscured. The sphere's area is difficult terrain.
Okay.
When the area appears, each creature in it must make a con saving throw. A creature takes 4d10 piercing damage on a failed, or half as much on a success. A creature must also make this saving throw when it enters the spell's area for the first time, or ends its turn there.
That's really good.
Yeah, it gives your people cover, especially, if things are coming towards you, or if you need to make an escape. It does some damage.
It makes it harder terrain for them to come through. So if you're running away and you're like, okay, I'm going to cast this behind us, and it goes around the corner, so it's not just stuck there.
The other one is Giant Insect. It's a 4th level transmutation spell. You transform up to 10 centipedes, 3 spiders, 5 wasps, or 1 scorpion within range into giant versions of their natural forms for the duration. Each creature obeys your verbal commands in combat, and they act on your turn each round, so it doesn't cost any bonus action or anything to command them. You just say, hey,
do it.
The DM has the statistics for these creatures and resolves their actions and movement.
That's another super helpful thing. If you're like, okay, I assume you may see these creatures while you're out. There might be some bugs, or you might know, hey, I know this, this with the magic item, and carry one of those in a jar and a thing. Just throw them out and be like, okay, big.
Yeah, it creates, cannon fodder to, help your party. If you have the rogue out there, send a bunch of giant insects around. That'll give him his sneak attack if he's, all by his lonesome out there. So, just these utility spells for me are really good for a cleric to take. There's one other thing that the staff does. While holding the staff, you can use an action and expend 1 charge to cause a swarm of harmless insects to spread out in a 30-foot radius from you. They remain for 10 minutes, making the area heavily obscured for creatures other than you. The swarm moves with you, remaining centered on you. and a wind of at least 10 miles per hour disperses the swarm and ends the effect. This is something like if you're in a tight space and you need to get some cover for yourself, just throw out the swarm of insects and, heal yourself up or heal, someone else. And
just keep walking. But it'll really affect them.
Yeah.
What rarity was that?
That's just a rare rare item.
I like that.
Yep.
The next item I have selected is Helm of Brilliance. It's a very rare item. It has many different diamonds, rupees, opals, fire opals that you can put on it. You'll have roll d10s to get those. And basically what it is, you can use an action to cast one of the following spells at a DC 18. So even if yours isn't that high, it'll be there. You can use things like Daylight, Fireball, Prismatic Spray, Wall of Fire. These gems are destroyed when the spell is cast and they disappear from the helm. But you'll have, somewhere between 3d10, 2d10. It's all explained in there on page 173 if you want to see more detail on that. And then you can go check out those spells. Daylight, you just cast it, it'll shine up. Fireball, cast, I believe it's 1d10 on a fireball. If I'm not
You're
mistaken.
thinking of Firebolt.
Firebolt, my bad, excuse me. Fireball is what we're looking at here. Wall of Fire. As long as you have at least one diamond left in this helm, it illuminates light for 30 feet radius at least one area. And if there are any undead that start in that area, they take 1d6 radiant damage.
That's really awesome.
So if you just walk around with it on there, it is no problem. As long as this helm has one ruby still in it, you have resistance to fire. So, don't cast all the spells if you just want to be like, okay, I'll keep this helmet on because it does require attunement.
Yeah.
So if you've used all the spells, get rid of them if you've used all the gems. And as long as there's one fire opal, you can use this action and speak a command word to cause one weapon you're holding to burst into flame. The flame, 10 feet of radiance with additional light, and then this does an additional 1d6 fire damage, and it'll stay until you speak a bonus word.
Kind of like a poor man's flame tongue.
Yeah. So if you keep a little bit in there, you can get a lot more.
I like this. For any spellcaster, you always want more spells. I mean, for a cleric, this gives you a lot more range than you normally have. But, that effect with the undead, I mean, every cleric's going to want that,
Now, with all those good things that it has one potential drawback.
Mm-hmm.
When wearing this helm, and you take fire damage as a result of a failing save against a spell, you roll d20. If you roll a 1, we all know bad stuff happens. In this, the helm illuminates light from its remaining gems. Each creature within 60 feet other than you must make a DC 17 dex save or be stricken down by this beam, taking radiant damage equal to the number of gems in the helm. So if you take any fire spell, you got the helmet on, you fail it, you roll 1, blows up, hurts everybody around you, and you lost everything that was in that helmet.
So, that's the hazard that comes with the Helm of Brilliance. Yeah. So
you do have resistance to fire, but it might blow up on you.
Yeah, who knows? The next item on my list is the Spellguard Shield. While holding this shield, you have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects, and spell attacks have disadvantage against you.
That's really good.
This is just one of those self-preservation items, you get your buff, your AC buff from the shield, and you also get these advantages on spells. I mean, who doesn't want that when it comes to any character?
If you can give something else disadvantage, it's awesome.
Yep.
Always way better.
Yeah, and, if you're the party's cleric, you're the guy with the healing spells a lot of the time, and obviously there's other classes that have that, but most times, people say, kill the healer first.
Right.
So this is something to give you a little extra edge on the battlefield.
The next one I've selected is Staff of Healing. As you know, most clerics are going to have their healing spells. But this one gives a little bit more to it. It's a rare item. It can only be tuned by bards, clerics, or druids. It comes with 10 charges. While you're holding it, you can use 1 or more charges to cast one of these spells using a DC spellcasting modifier that is yours. Cure Wounds, Lesser Restoration, or Massive Cure Wounds. They require different amounts of charges. But the good thing is the staff regains 1d6 plus 4 each day. And then once again, on a 1, vanish.
Yeah.
It won't be there. You'll roll d20 when you expend the last charge. If you roll 1, just as the helm, it goes away. It doesn't blow up. It's good. But, if you just have the staff, you ran out of spells, you want to save a different spell, I'm going to use one of these charges and hit. You're going to guarantee to get at least 5 back. Because even if you roll 1, you'll get 4 at dawn. So, it's good to use them all because you should never run out. Unless you're getting some big binds.
Yeah.
But it just kind of helps, and if you acquire it earlier, you may be able to use more of these spells or switch up a spell if you're like, okay, offense then healing because I have the staff.
Yeah, like I said earlier, anything that'll supplement your spells as a spellcaster is going to be great. The Staff of Healing, like you said, you can save your actual spell slots for offensive spells or defensive spells, and then use the staff to heal your party up. So it's good.
Good.
Yeah. The next item on my list kind of goes hand in hand with the Staff of Healing. It's the Necklace of Prayer Beads. It's another item, that will supplement your spell list. It gets 1d4 plus 2 magic beads. There's 6 type of magic beads that can be on the necklace. There's the bead of Blessing, which gives you the spell Bless. Bead of Curing, which gives you either Cure Wounds or Lesser Restoration. Bead of Favor, which is Greater Restoration. The bead of Smiting gives you Smite. The bead of Summons gives you Planar Ally. And the bead of Windwalking, which gives you Windwalk. Obviously, Bless, Cure Wounds, Lesser and Greater Restoration, those are already on the Cleric list.
Right.
And, they're great. I mean, you need Lesser Restoration, Greater Restoration. If you're hit by one of those pesky conditions, like we covered in last week's video, which you can find the link right up here, it'll take those away. It'll help with a lot of that. Branding Smite, if you're up there in the midst of battle and, everybody's good, everybody's, healed up, you don't need to do anything else, you can get a Smite out maybe, and, potentially crit and, do double damage. And Planar Ally, you summon up like a Celestial, Fiend Fae.
These are all
help you out on the battlefield,
all determined by a DM roll. They'll roll and say, here's what beads it has, which 19 and 20, they're the only ones that are singular. Give you.
It's actually not even a roll by the DM. He or she just picks and does whatever. So if the DM doesn't want you to have Planar Ally or Branding Smite, too bad, you're out of luck.
Alright, yeah.
And to top it all off, it's a bonus action to use these. So
use your attack, and instead of using a complete spell to cast one of these, just bonus action.
Bonus action, yeah.
It's good. The next one we have is Rod of Resurrection. It is a legendary item, can only be used by clerics, druids, or paladins. Has 5 charges in it. When you hold it, you can use an action to cast one of the following spells: Heal or Resurrection. The rod regains 1 expended charge at dawn, or if there are no charges, roll a d20. If you get a 1, it bursts into flames. Yeah. More and more, we keep talking about adding additional spells.
Yep.
Because it's super helpful for the cleric to have. You need to. You got to have all this, because if you're using them, as we talked, to switch them up, maybe use more offense instead of healing. Maybe you need more healing because everybody's getting beat up. And this just gives you more usage. Now, heal direction uses all 5. So that will give it the chance to potentially break when that happens. And it does only regain 1 as it goes. So you can't be like, resurrection next day. Resurrection. Yeah. It's, you're going to go back to just having heal.
Yeah. Which, like you said, it's a legendary level item, so, obviously it's going to be really good, and,
be useful.
Resurrection, who doesn't want to bring back their fallen ally? Or, the shopkeep.
Yeah.
Next item is the Mace of Disruption. This is a rare item, requires attunement, so if you can use a mace, you can use this. When you hit a fiend or undead with this magic weapon, that creature takes an extra 2d6 radiant damage. If the target has 25 hit points or fewer after taking this damage, it must succeed on a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw or be destroyed. On a successful save, the creature becomes frightened of you until the end of your next turn. While you hold this weapon, it sheds bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20. So this is great for that undead hating cleric. You know, you roll up, you bust out your turn undead. You don't get all of them. Well, you can go up on the remaining ones with your mace and just
start going away.
Yeah,
I like
just
how
waylay
you
them.
get the extra radiant damage on top of the damage, and then you might have something that also helps you with undead, like you said, the cast spell. And then to be able for them to have 25 HP, even if it's something big, and you're like, okay, we've been fighting it. Even if they pass it, they're frightened.
Yeah.
So, at the end of their life, of their battle, that creature's going to be either afraid, not come near you, or just straight blow up, and you're like, hey, we cut some life off there.
Yep.
Saved a battle.
Oh, yeah.
The next item I have is Periapt of Wound Closure. It is a uncommon item, so it's probably one of the,
First ones you might find.
Right. While you're wearing this pendant, you stabilize whenever you are dying at the start of your turn. In addition, whenever you roll a hit die to regain hit points, double the amount that you have restored.
That's one of those great survivability things.
So if you take a short rest and you have to use your spells to heal the other bigger guys, you just want to use one of your hit die, you'll be able to gain more and won't have to use a spell on yourself.
Yep.
And I really like and not having to make death saves. I get real scared.
I think everybody does,
So I would love to just be like, fall down, he's fine.
Yep.
He'll be alright. Somebody will bring him along.
It's that thing. It's like, oh man, the cleric's down. Well, we know he's going to be alright.
Right. He'll be okay. The cleric will never die. So if they're like, oh, we got to take out the cleric, he'll just lay there for a little while.
And the last item, the Cloak of Displacement. This is another one of those character survivability items. It's a rare item. While you wear this cloak, it projects an illusion that makes you appear to be standing in a place near your actual location, causing any creature to have disadvantage on attack rolls against you. If you take damage, the property ceases to function until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
This property is suppressed when you are incapacitated, restrained, or otherwise unable to move. Like I said, another great survivability thing. If you're up in the heat of battle, people have disadvantage on you, so it makes it harder to be hit, so decreasing your chances of going down in the middle of battle.
Not being affected, like we stated before, disadvantage for them on you.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So I think overall, our general consensus is more spells, more survivability. They're obviously great for any class, but they're especially great for cleric, just because it gives you so much more range, so much more ability to do things.
More spells, the more you can save your own, the more disadvantage they have on you, the better you can heal everybody else to keep fighting.
Absolutely. All right, thanks for watching. If you want to see more D&D content from us, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to always get our notifications for when we upload a new video.
In the comments below, please leave what items you like to use for your cleric. Give a small description. Maybe you use something that works a little better that we didn't know.
Absolutely.
And until next time, keep the dice rolling.